So when I was 8 years old, I decided I would want to be a writer when I grew up. And I did little newspapers for the neighborhood, writing about whose dog has died and that kind of a thing. And then I always did really well in English, but I ended up working in the shipyards for a while. And then I did teach writing at UCSD Warren Writing Program for a while. But since then, I've been working in manufacturing. But writing is my thing. And I've always loved the reader. And I've always wanted to do something, but I've always had kids or husbands or anything. But in the last year, I haven't had those things. I've been on my own, so I have had time to do some of these things that I want to do. This story about Suitcase Man, this guy is just something who he lives in my mind. I wonder about him. I want to know more about him, but I didn't want to be an ass by just going up to him and asking questions, you know, treating him like an object. But I still wondered all the time, where does he go when he goes to sleep? You know, I know he sleeps up in the hills, but he never seems all that dirty. He somehow has lasted at least for 15, 20 years while I was living in La Mesa. So that was kind of the impetus for, I wrote a song about him at one point. I would sometimes kind of surreptitiously take pictures of him, wondering if I could help him, but I never really was able to. But when this contest came up, I thought, well, this is something that really anchors La Mesa for me. He is someone I really, when I think of La Mesa, I think of Suitcase Man. So I wrote the story.
And what did you leave out that you wish you now had put it? What did you leave out of the story?
What did I leave out? Well, I pared down a lot of stuff that I wrote about me. And the story is not about me. So I had things in there about the relationship that led me to the street in La Mesa where I finally saw him, and things about my son who lived with me there. And the more I looked at it, I thought, this is not very interesting, number one, and it's not what I'm really writing about, number two. So I left a lot of that out. For instance, like, I'm fascinated by hoarders. Even before the show or anything, I was fascinated by hoarders. It kind of fits in with my fascination with Suitcase Man and someone who's a little bit different from me, but also kind of like me. So I left all of that out. I just ended up focusing on Suitcase Man and where he went about La Mesa, where I saw him, and how much he just encompasses that whole experience in my life for me.
Good. Thank you very much.